Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. This is Boisterous, coming to you with some Silver League Sexiness out of the map Ohana. This is Ohana. Spawning down here in the bottom right-hand corner, we do have ETSlimJim as the red Zerg, up here in the top left-hand corner, we have Elis as the blue Protoss. So we are going to have a face-off of ZVPness on Ohana. But first, I would just really quickly like to remind everybody that this Wednesday there are going to be the finals for the Forum Comp Monthly. It is going to be for $50. It's going to be yourself versus lowercase Venom, because sadly uppercase Venom actually did manage to beat lowercase Venom. And probably leading up to that, Kadoink and I over the next couple days are going to be commentating a lot of the games that Venom and yourself played over the entire tournament and getting them all up there. So if you guys would like to follow their route through the tournament, it's all there. I know one of Venom's game is currently up. It was the last cast that was during the live section of the tournament we did that I posted the other day, the like 4-hour-long video. But all of it is time coded in the description. So if you just want to fast forward to those games, you can just look in it and look for game 1 and game 2 and whatever, and just click on them, and it'll be right there. Anyway, we do have Elis popping down his gateway in kind of an odd spot, considering the fact that he's Protoss versus a Zerg player, and he built his pylon here. Now, building your pylon here typically signifies trying at least to wall off, but he built the gateway over here on the left side, which makes basically no sense. I can't say completely no sense, because I mean, I guess I can kind of see the merit. Oh, he's 2-gating. There's the merit. Now, of course, he's doing a completely scouted 2-gate, which makes it a lot less dangerous and kind of stupid, because you're going to have to see people go for speed and go for a spawning pool. Actually, I would be surprised to see him just not go for speed, completely forego it, and instead just build the Roachborn, because Roaches are pretty good against Zealots, primarily because Zealots can never catch them. It's a little known fact. Zealots just cannot run fast enough. They are like the people that are dreaming that they're getting chased by serial killers because they just can't escape. And we actually see him going like 2-gate into a cybernetics core and not actually producing any Zealots. So this is definitely Silver League. I can say that with confidence now that this is Silver League, because there is no way any higher league would do this. Why would you build 2 gateways? Oh, now he's pumping out those Zealots. There we go. But it's still odd that he built a cybernetics core, because usually 2 gates are just complete all-ins, and you go for like as many gateways as you can possibly build and just try to crank out Zealots and kill your opponent. Now, of course, it was scouted, so this is kind of the right decision, but still super awkward. The right decision would have just been not dropping the 2nd gateway or canceling it and building the cybernetics core way earlier, because this is a really late cyber core. This is basically like if you Forge Fast expanded it and dropped the cyber core, except he doesn't have an expansion, which is usually bad. So these Roaches could definitely come out and punish him. The 2 Zealots, or the 2 Stalkers, excuse me, are being built currently, and he will probably just keep cranking out Stalkers to try to deal pressure damage. But SlimJim, I doubt, is going to get hit that hard with pressure damage. Where are his... Okay, his Overlords are building, that's good. He has 3 Roaches right now, and 3 Roaches is plenty to defend against any number of Zealots. Unless it's literally like a 200 army with charge. I think that's like the only way that you would get through. And there is the next Roach popping up, just standard build stuff from SlimJim. Here comes the Stalker Force. So it looks like this actually might be a little bit of a good pressure, but still, Elis did this kind of awkwardly. Definitely a little bit awkwardly. He is getting the full Chrono Boost out on his Warp Gate Research, which is quite nice, quite useful. And we have the engagement coming down on the front. Actually, not really the engagement, just a drone dying and an Overlord dying, which is going to be majorly annoying for SlimJim. However, the Zealots are not here with the Stalkers, and the Stalkers are just going to get picked off without an issue. There are currently 6 Roaches, and as soon as the 2nd Stalker dies, all of these Zealots are going to die for basically no loss. They're going to do a bit of damage to Roaches, but Roaches regen over time, so that's actually not at all an issue. And it looks like Elis just wants to convert a 2-gate into a 4-gate. Actually a 5-gate, because, you know, you can support 5 gates on one base. That's not really something you can do, actually. And the pylon is down at the front, so he is going to be going for this kind of hyper pressure, but it's just not going to work effectively because he already lost a major first engagement, which means that his opponent has just so many more roaches than he can handle currently. Galil reconstruction is on the way. I wouldn't even be surprised to see the Zerg player maybe even go for an expansion because he really can. I think he should pull these drones off of gas and make them go back to mining minerals, just because that's where they would be much more effective. Because as you can see, his gas is kind of skyrocketing because roaches are super gas-light units. And here comes the drone that is going to be popping down the expansion. So Elis is probably going to warp in one more round of stalkers and then move in for the attack. And is he going up to a 6th gate? You can't support. That's not going to work. I mean, unless you're only warping in zealots and sentries. And even then, that would be kind of awkward because he doesn't even have a second assimilator. That's very strange. We see this hero roach actually does manage to take out the probe, which is kind of major. It means that there can be no more proxy pylons as soon as this one is wiped out, unless of course a second. Oh, whoa, this drone knows what's up. And it looks like this attack is going to be moving in from Elis. The army is fairly sizable, but so is this roach force. The roach speed is not done, however, they are managing to snipe off plenty of stalkers. One stalker does go down, a second one is about to go down. All of these zealots are dead, but it's going to be kind of awkward. The sentries are going down and there are no force fields being dropped. Now it's just stalkers versus roaches, and stalkers are actually pretty amazing versus roaches so long as there are no sentries in the way. And it looks like these roaches are going to manage to clean it up, which is pretty key because that is also just defending the hatchery. A lot of zealots coming in, but they should be able to kite the zealots. Oh, this is actually not good, and it looks like the hatchery was canceled, which is of course the right decision. A lot of roaches being produced right now, but 4 more are about to come out, and they will snipe off that sentry in just really quickly. And now they should be able to just kite these zealots forever because they do have glial reconstitution, which is a very important upgrade, and they really only need to kite it until these next 5 roaches come out, and there are those 5 roaches, and these speed roaches are done, and they're going to be quite dangerous versus this army. Elis is swinging into the main base with a large force right now, but there are a lot of roaches here, and they are managing to snipe off all of the zealots before they can really do any damage. There's only going to be 3 stalkers after all these zealots go down, and that's not a whole lot of damage to be able to put out onto these roaches, as these roaches can take them out in just 2 volleys. They are doing quite a nice job trying to micro a little bit, but he just did not escape the max range of the stalkers. And we are going to see the counter push finally coming out for ETSlimJim, and that should just about be enough to end the game. I'm not sure exactly how Elis plans on holding this off. He did build a Nexus, which is kind of a bad decision at this point. And he's going for a Twilight Council, also not the best choice. A robotics facility is much more effective versus roaches, and it looks like this is just going to transition into a roach all-in. I don't think he's going to try to transition out of this just because he doesn't need to. He can honestly win with the force that he has currently. Because Elis just doesn't have any money because he never mined off that second assimilator. He actually has not even put a worker on here. There is finally 3 harvesters on there, but it's just not going to be enough. The Nexus is going to go down. It has not nearly paid itself off. His only savior would be getting a sentry out, and he's just stopping himself from doing that at this point. There are a lot of roaches here, and they will be able to effectively clean up this army. Almost certainly another couple roaches coming in, and that is going to be all she wrote for Elis. I do not expect him to be able to stay in here much longer. Did a sentry just go warped in? Nope, more stalkers. At this point, build a sentry wall off your ramp. Oh my god. Oh, and he's just like moving the stalkers into the range of these roaches, and that's really not what you want to do. Now, of course, these zealots are going to be able to tank a lot of damage because these roaches really can't shoot past them until they're dead. But there goes the last zealot, and there's only 4 stalkers left, and 4 stalkers is not really enough to do anything. And he's just building more stalkers. Why is he building more stalkers? Build a sentry. These ramps are 1 force field. 1 force field. And I'm surprised that these roaches haven't moved up into the main base because there's just no meat shields for these stalkers. And honestly, the roaches are running away now. They let the army grow a little bit too big. So they are going to be running away in fear. They just do not have the health to deal with that currently. However, ETSlimJim has expanded, and he is building up his drone count now, finally. So we should be able to see him spike in economy pretty soon, and this is definitely the point where you just pull all of your drones off of gas, because you will not need it until you start going for higher tech units, and you're probably not going to go for higher tech units all game. We do see Zergling speed finally being researched, which is actually a really late speed, especially considering the fact that he had so much gas. And you know, he really didn't need all of these roaches. It was nice to snipe off that Nexus. It was very useful, but he only needed, I don't know, he probably needed 2 less roaches to really get that Nexus down. It would have been that big, and all of these roaches are kind of just overkill. Unless he pushes up until the main base and actually wins. And we do see that Elis is going for the famous win behind Dark Shrine move. It's always a smart idea to Dark Shrine. No, it's not. It's really not a smart idea to Dark Shrine, especially when you have this many roaches knocking at your door. You really need sentries. Sentries are a good unit. Damn it, Elis. Just build a sentry. Come on, man. We have all these roaches swinging in, and they should be able to snipe off these stalkers quite easily, and that is almost certainly going to be all she wrote. I don't see a way for Elis to win at this point, or even really escape from this alive. His Dark Shrine is going to finish, so he might be able to get a Dark Templar up. Oh yeah, he'll be able to create 3 Dark Templar when that Dark Shrine finishes. However, those Dark Templar are going to be needed to be used to defend against this roach push. So the information is going to be there. The layer is already here. An Overseer will be built quite rapidly, and as soon as an Overseer is built, Dark Templar really can't do anything against a roach force. However, they are going to manage to clean up quite a few of these current roaches, unless they just run away. And of course, roaches with glial reconstitution move as fast as Dark Templars. So these roaches are going to be able to escape all the way home. Do we have an Overseer in production? Yes, we do. There it is coming down. It looks like burrowing claws are done, so you could really just burrow these roaches and escape that way, along with regenerating a lot of health, which would be quite nice. We have 10 drones on the way. ETSlimJim with the balls of steel, not even caring that there's DTs on the field, just going for drones. You know what, guys, screw it, just go for drones. And Elis has left the game. Not even a GG. That's how you do it. Dark Templar transition into GG. So of course, don't forget to check out the live commentary on Wednesday of the finals. It is going to be best of 5 between yourself and Venom. Also, if you would like any other Boisterous games, you can head over to youtube.com/user/boisteroussc2. And if you would like your games commentated, you can send them on into boisteroussc2@gmail.com. I'd like to thank you all for watching, and this is Boisterous signing out.